Today for Mousetrap Monday, we're going to see how many mice we can catch in the barn with this brand new 3D printed mousetrap invented by a YouTube viewer. He calls it the Twister. It almost looks like a walk the plank style mousetrap. You mount it to a bucket, but instead of dipping, it rotates, the mouse will fall down, and then it resets. You have to plug it in first. We'll do that now. And it levels off to make our plank. Right here, it will blink 3 times when you first plug it in. Then every time you catch a mouse, it will start a series of blinks. First mouse is 1 blink. For the second mouse, it'll blink twice, and so on. It's such a cool trap. It's pretty high tech. I really like that sensor just as the mouse walks out. It gets dunked and resets, one after another. You'll catch some mice. I'm going to mount this to a bucket so you can see how it works. We'll get our pet mice and test it out. Now there is some assembly required. You'll have to make a ramp and also drill a hole in the bucket to mount it. It comes with a bolt that you slide through. Then you tighten up the nut. Now the trap is secured to the bucket with the bolt, but I'm also going to put a zip tie just to make sure it doesn't move. Now you will need to make a ramp for the mice to climb up. Here this sits on top. The mouse will go up there, hit the sensor, drop down, and then reset. And that light tells us we got 1 mouse. Let's go get our pet mice and test it out more. I'll make sure they have a soft landing. Okay, mouse number 1 will be our hairless mouse. Well, initially when our hairless pet mouse crossed the sensor and the plank rotated, it held on the edge. It did fall on the bottom of the bucket, but that may be a problem. We'll test it out with the second mouse and see what happens. Uh-oh. Well, that's very interesting. Now we caught 2 mice, but it took quite a while. I'm really curious what happens with the wild mice. Let's go set up the motion cameras and see what happens. Well, last night we had the same problem with the wild mice. They hold on the edge when it rotates and they don't fall down. So I decided to make this plank wider with some tape here. That way they can't reach the edge, and when it rotates, they should slide in the bottom. Let's go set up the motion cameras in the barn again and see if the tape theory works. Hey, look at that mouse down there in the bottom of the bucket. Last night we caught it with this Twister mousetrap. All we had to do was make the plank wider with some tape. That way when the mouse goes out there and hits the sensor, it can't hold on the edge. When it rotates, it falls down. Now what we caught is a native species of mouse called a deer mouse. Because it's part of the natural ecosystem, instead of killing it, I'm going to take it out in the wild and set it free. I always love it when YouTube viewers invent new mousetraps and send me the prototypes. With the wider plank, this is a mouse catching machine. If you want to learn more about the Twister, I'll leave the contact information of the inventor down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider clicking that button. I've posted over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and currently I'm posting new videos every Monday and Friday. So if you want to see the best videos on how to catch mice, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, moles, voles, and gophers, stay tuned. Walk out to that sensor. See, there's no chance of it holding on.